Staghand stands off of two piers of great mass and order. Dozens of ships, mostly of the trading variety, glide in and out of port, delivering and shipping. Along these docks sit many shops, inns, and a brightly lit casino called Sweet Elixir. Behind these amenities sit the squalid slums of Waterside, full of those who have been forgotten by Tamora. Waterside sits to the east of the shipping facilities for which Staghand has become famous. Markets bustle in Market Square to the north, where most shopkeepers keep their businesses open from dawn well into dusk, and in the east sits battlements, always standing prepared for attacks, whether by sea or by land. Temples to Lathander and Saloon sit at either end of the city, protecting the town from either side. Lathander's over East Point, where most of the city's residents make their homes, and Saloon's over West Cross and Hydrangea Hill, a gated community where the affluent settle. They stand over all else, an imposing comfort for the people of Staghand. At the side of each major temple lies a graveyard, stretching out over the sides of the farmland. On the outskirts of the city sit miles of farmland, belonging to families who settled to be close enough to benefit from the shipping facilities. You've all come to know this city over the past few weeks, and while you've not had a chance to delve too far into the city itself, you've become familiar with those who frequent the Butcher's Hall, a tavern of well-repute, which holds a bulletin board of job postings. You know this as times have been tough, and you've been pulling jobs off of it for weeks, looking for an opportunity to make money and move on to your personal goals. These jobs have included packing ships for transportation of goods, caring for animals, and harvesting crops from the farmlands. You all have different reasons for coming to the city, but you remain looking for any hint that will bring you closer to what you're looking for. Now, after months of trying to make sense of yourselves, of looking for what you're looking for, you find yourselves in the Butcher's Hall. In your search, you have all found a name, the Antiquarian. They seek several people to make way into the Mockingbird Wood, though the poster doesn't give you much information other than a price. 50 gold each, a glowing reference, should you desire it. The posting says to meet in the back room at the Butcher's Hall on the eve of the full moon. After applying for the position and walking into the inn on the proper night, you are welcomed into the back room, where you are sat at a table with a drink and several strange and familiar hopefuls. So if you would like to describe your characters, that would be dope.
You see a very tall, very thick Goliath wearing salt-stained leather armor. He's got tattoos that look like tentacles that run down both of his arms to the wrist. He has 2 short swords and 2 daggers at his belt. He's got long black hair and a neatly trimmed black beard.
Standing at about 6'4", you see a muscled, imposing half-orc woman. She has smallish tusks and green hair with a slight green tint to her skin. Her eyes are golden brown, and her face is covered in scars that look like she's been through some things. In addition to the scars that are obviously from trauma, she has scars that are intricately carved on her shoulders and arms, as if intentional. She seems like she's trying to be nice enough, but she kind of can't be less imposing if she tried.
Oh, there's someone who's standing out by how much they're trying not to stand out. They're kind of wearing, it's not linen, but it's a very light jacket with a hood pulled up over their head. But you can tell from the little bits of red skin and the incredibly obvious tail whipping behind that it's a tiefling. They're keeping their shoulders kind of scrunched up and their head low, just trying to look as not obvious as possible. And on their back you can see they have a quarterstaff just resting in a leather strap between their shoulder blades.
Against the wall you see a halfling leaning, sort of a little messy, a little scruffy looking, but clean and not dirty. The hair may be clean, but it's very knotted up, and she has a big axe on on her back, almost taller than she is, sort of standing restlessly, waiting.
Okay, you see a mid-height drow, and she has her hair dyed golden. She holds herself with a certain nobility about her. Her face is distant and sharp, and she has a mark upon her forehead that is the mark of Lysander.
And then there's also a large man. He's about a little over 6 feet, probably 240, 250 pounds. Brown skin, white hair, looks a little older, kind of grizzled. Maybe, you'd probably guess human-wise, probably about 50-ish years old, but I mean, he's no slacker. He definitely looks like he could handle his own in a fight or two. The thing you probably notice the most about him, and probably have seen him around town just sort of lazing about, making his way through. He's sort of a loner, but also helps out when he can. He has like this large set of black wings that protrude out of his back, and he's just sort of sitting, waiting quietly. And you said we're all in the same back room here for the Antiquarian, you said?
Yeah. You've all applied to a job because it's well paying.
Is it only us in the room?
Right now, yes. With the exception, occasionally the barmaid of the Butcher's Hall pops in and out, just making sure that everybody's comfortable and making sure that you've got the drinks that you want or need. And she assures you several times that the Antiquarian should be on her way. By the time the last of you gets settled in, it's a good half an hour before somebody other than the barmaid walks in. There are two red-haired elves, both women, who walk into the room. One of them has some scars on her face, but the other is very fresh-faced and walks very proudly. The one with the scars on her face pulls out a chair for the other one, and she sits down, just kind of eyeing the group of you one at a time, and says, "Good morning. You're the lot looking for a job in the woods."
Which one's speaking?
The Antiquarian.
Okay.
The fancy lady.
It seems that way, yes.
There was a promise of... Oh, God. Go right into
Every Tim voice ever.
He's been practicing.
Combat!
Yeah. There was
He's been practicing a new
of
one.
50 gold. So
Yes. Well, provided you are able to bring back the artifact that I'm looking for, then yes, I will provide 50 gold pieces per person. Anything else you find along your journey, you can keep. There's only one thing I'm interested in.
Well, given the great expense that you're willing to go through, and the fact that you're not willing to chance this yourself, might I ask what exactly will be waiting out there for us?
There's a cave. About 2 days' travel. I'm not sure what's in the cave, but there is something magical there. There's a set of dice that I wish to retrieve from my collection. They're ancient and engraved.
You're willing to pay 50 gold to every one of us for a pair of dice?
Yes.
And who am I to judge?
What are
No.
you concerned about in this cave?
There are creatures who were once peaceful, who reside nearby. They are currently attacking anyone who goes through. Small creatures. They look like hedgehogs, but they are who are the opponents at least.
Hedgehogs with the little and the spines, the little hedgehogs.
Yes.
Oh my
They're not little hedgehogs. They just have the appearance of them.
So they're hedgehogs, but they're not hedgehogs.
Yes.
Dire hedgehogs.
Something has turned these people mad. I'm not sure what it is, but I imagine there's something in common.
Sentient creatures.
Yes.
Have you tried sending anybody before?
So, excuse me. I know I'm short, but are these creatures posing a danger to the peaceful people who are living around them, or are they just minding their own business?
A little bit of both. I haven't sent anyone there yet. But if whatever's turning them mad could be dealt with, and the artifact I'm looking for could be retrieved, then we could deal with two birds and one stone. They do reside along the road down to Azeroth, so it's for the benefit of everyone.
Thank you.
If you have not sent anyone, how do you know about these mad heavy hogs with their pointy, mad faces?
Well, I've heard tales.
Ah, tails. Hedgehogs, they have tails, yes.
I imagine.
No?
I apologize. I'm sorry.
These dice, what do they do?
They're pretty.
They're just, you said they were artifacts. Just a pretty set of dice you would consider an artifact.
Yes.
Interesting.
You know, I don't see why we cannot, like, for 50 gold apiece, I suppose there's enough questions, yes? We get these pretty dice, we deal with the little pointy tail hedgehogs, and we get our money. I think it's a good deal.
Alright.
Yes, well, hopefully we can figure out what's causing them to be so crazy to begin with.
Well, I hope you can find it out. There aren't very many of those people, as far as I can tell, and it would be a shame to have to wipe them out.
Yes, well, if it comes to that, we'll just do what we must. Yes.
Dude.
I disagree. I would like to avoid killing as much as possible, especially if these were peaceful creatures beforehand.
Yes, what I very much object to the killing. There's always a peaceful way to deal with these things.
Yes, of course. Don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying that if they can't be saved, then we must do what needs to be done if we to save other people in the future from danger. But obviously, if we can avoid it, we should spare lives.
Violence should only be a last answer, but I think we get ahead of ourselves.
Where is this cave?
I can have Zanara, and she gestures to the other red-haired elf. I can have Zanara bring you there. It It will be 2 days of a journey, and she can be ready by tomorrow afternoon.
They suit everyone. I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
Very well. Now, Zanara won't go into the cave with you. I've instructed her not to. I don't want her to risk her life. Just so we're all understanding.
Could just give us a map.
I could, but this will be faster. You'll have a cart to bring back whatever you need to bring back.
All right. I'm on board. So tomorrow then, where will we meet your man?
She will meet you here. I understand you've been staying here.
Yes.
If that's all the same to you. If there's a better place, I wouldn't mind sending her there instead.
Yeah, here is good. Here.
Here works, although I'm most often found at the Temple of Lathander.
Yes. Well, it's best to pick everyone up at one spot, I think. And you do have some time, so if you're looking to make a spare bit of change, or if you're looking to supply yourselves, there is a man looking for help out front.
Who is this man? What does he need?
Mr. Stanton. And some of you would be familiar if you're just from picking up little tasks. Elric has been hiring people to plant on his farm. It's currently spring, so there have been several postings from him on the board.
I am always looking for a bit of coin. Yes, we'll have a chat. And I don't know what accent I'm doing anymore.
Yes, I can. I would like to come with. Yes.
Excellent. Well, if you have it's best to get to know one another if you're going to be traveling together. Perhaps you can use it as a bonding experience. And the Antiquarian stands gracefully and just bows her head to you all to say goodbye.
I'll leave and I'll seek out this Elrich fellow.
I will do the same. I need the money.
I will also follow.
So does Jill.
Concord quietly just follows everyone out. Still not saying particularly much.
All right. When you make your way out into the butcher's hall, you see the man that some of you have already met, and he's pinning a sheet to the job posting board with a bit of difficulty. His hands aren't quite what they used to be, and he is having a little bit of trouble pinning it up.
Mr. Stanton, please let me help you with that.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Perhaps we can save you the trouble of posing them entirely. We have 5 people here with good, strong backs, ready to make an honest day's wage.
Excuse me?
I beg your pardon. We're 6. Do not forget the halfling. She's striking someone. Do not forget the halfling.
Yes, please do not forget the tiny person.
We have 5.5 people here, with mostly strong backs.
Excuse me?
Now, friend, like now, I have a feeling she's not very forgetting of these things. Perhaps you should apologize.
I did it with a wink.
Well, I'm sure that's
What does the wink mean?
It was an attempt of being friendly. I'm not very good at it. Sorry.
I
apologize
just
sincerely for any offense which I have caused you.
no. It's fine. I apologize too. I'm not so good at the reading the faces. So
It's
no,
probably because
the
they're so far away.
misunderstandings. No. Actually, it's because see, I was staying with these goblins, and they have different faces, so I got used to it. I'm talking too much. Sorry, sir. How can we help you?
Goblins, you say? Interesting.
It was a while ago. I'm just learning again.
Well, if you're looking to help an old man, I have been planting seeds on my farm day in and out, and there are these frogs that continuously eat them. If I don't have anything planted by the end of the week, I'm afraid the rest of the season will be null.
How big are these frogs?
Bigger than me, my boy.
Bigger.
He taps Brutax on the shoulder with his cane.
Have you tried the straw with the scarecrow, but for a frog? Is a scare frog?
Scare frogs. I don't know if I've ever seen those before.
I'm sure we could do something very interesting.
I'm sure we can
I'm
think of a
afraid.
solution.
Well, if you are interested, I can feed you and perhaps give you 10 gold pieces altogether.
Please don't even. I'm sure that you need the money.
Oh no,
Of course, I can only speak for myself.
I don't want to take all of your money. However, this is a transaction. Yes?
Yes.
We're doing,
I will take payment in food. If your farm fails, it's bad for everyone. Let's go kill some frogs.
I will take payment only in goodwill.
I appreciate that very much.
We can make the frog legs.
Yes, to tell you the truth, we are planning on going on a trip. So myself, I would find that rations would be far more useful than gold in the coming days. So if you had any dried meats,
we can try the frog meat, yeah? Jerky.
Well, I can perhaps provide you with some vegetation that you can carry with you as rations, or you're welcome to take the frog meat if you would like. Though when it is on a large frog, it is much more tough than a small tasty frog.
I have eaten frog many times. It's fine. Let's go.
It's a delicacy up north.
I could also provide you with a couple healing bombs.
Oh, that would be very useful.
Yeah, sometimes you get cuts on your hand on the farm, and it's I've become fairly good at it.
Not to worry, Mr. Stanton. Will you show us where we should go?
Of course. Come along. Alright, so Elric leads you through the city. And his farm is practically on the other side of town, so it does take you quite a while to walk there, but once you get there, he opens the fence, which he does keep locked, and welcomes you into the farm area. And almost immediately you see rustling in bushes. But for the most part, the farm itself it looks like it's been picked over.
You'll definitely have a problem. I can't see this.
Here, let us fix this. And I take out my axe and stand ready, sort of looking for massive frogs.
So on the way here, I think Griffon would have been sort of seemingly talking to himself, going, "Yes, I remember how big those frogs were. Do you remember them?"
No.
So Concord, you see the rustling in the bushes. And you're
These
up first.
bushes look particularly dry or wet.
That's a strange question.
No, they're just bushes. It hasn't rained in a couple days, so they're thirsty
they're not
boys.
valuable bushes.
No, they're more decoration than use.
Oh, that's a shame. I am going to use on my action. Where's my sheet now? I am going to use Burning Hands.
So that's a dexterity save?
Yep.
Okay. Well, he doesn't see the fire coming. He just looks at you with these two big, stupid frog eyes and gets crispy on top.
And as I am casting, as the fire spills out from my outstretched hands, all of a sudden you can see it's creeping up past my wrists, past my elbows, and before you know it, my entire body is suddenly engulfed in flames. Except none of my hair or clothing appears to be affected.
I'm going to lean down to the small one and say that he must have a really good tailor. Must ask him where he got these clothes.
And that is my turn.
Alright. Jill.
Jill is sadly too busy to being terrified to hear anything. And upon seeing all this fire, she sort of starts shaking and screaming and runs as far away from the fire as she can, and just
Was it something I said?
and she's clutching her axe and looking at all the fire, sort of being blind to anything but it, and not really noticing that she's running up technically behind another massive frog. But it's sort of taking all of Jill's wits, just like keep her weapon clutched and not faint at the moment. So that's Jill's turn.
Okay. As Jill cowers, looking towards the flaming tiefling, this frog here is going to jump towards the assailant. Boink. That's the exact sound he makes, and it's going to try to bite. Oh. Yikes.
Yum.
He just gums at a fiery Concord, and I believe he takes damage because of your 1d4. Do you want to roll that?
Okay.
Just gumming at that fiery flesh.
Mmm.
Mm.
That rolled? Come on.
Yeah, I rolled. You did too
sorry.
on the first one.
The other frog just kind of his eyes following Jill as she runs, is going to
Oh no.
attempt a bite on her.
The small, scared woman is going to die.
She's gonna get swallowed by a frog.
She's fine. It just kind of gums at the top of her head.
Her poor hair.
Griffon.
Seeing the halfling in trouble, he is going to run over, take out his rapier, and swing at the frog.
Alright, so you swing and the rapier strikes into its slimy flesh. He gets a good chunk off of him.
He's gonna move up behind this frog. It's 5, 10, 30. And attack the one that is currently on fire, I think? Or was just burned?
Burned. He's crispy.
Main hand, short sword, 19.
That hits.
So he takes 8 piercing damage.
Roll your sneak attack.
Okay.
Yeah, you just come right up to this frog and end his suffering quickly.
It's not easy being green. And then I'll use my offhand to attack the other one.
It's not
Poor
easy.
Wren.
I can confirm this for you. It's not easy.
I was hoping you weren't in earshot.
Oh, Orcish kind, we have very good hearing. Just for future reference.
I was unaware. So that's all. That's me. I hit the other one for 4.
Yeah, nice. Wren.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I'm looking after little halfling runs away, and I'm worried about her. And now that she's a frog, eating her hair, that seems pretty intense. So I'm going to say, don't worry, little halfling, I will save you. Hopefully. And I'm gonna use my longbow. Use my longbow, and I'm gonna take a shot at the dude, the hoppity hip hop.
Yeah, you hit him.
I don't want to hit the halfling.
Too many
No,
wayward arrows. Flashbacks.
I want to hit the frog right in the tuchus.
It hits the frog right in the tuchus.
Fantastic.
He pulls his face off of the halfling's head, and her hair is just sticking up like so. It's very Cameron Diaz in that movie.
Oh God, Ren's gonna. I'm going to move a little. No, I'm not going to move because I need the distance. But I will shout just a little. Don't worry, little halfling. You can wear it very well, and just be careful. I think that's my turn. I don't have anything else to do.
Nice. Is it Valrieth or Valrieth or
Valrieth.
Valrieth? Okay, perfect. It is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to crossbow.
Yeah, so that hits.
Valrieth made a brilliant effort.
Nice. It pierces the skin. Gets right under there. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm going to use my move action to move back. And that's it.
Awesome. That frog is dead. He did not know what hit him. Concord, is your turn again.
Okay, I am first going to give the big guy who just killed the frog I was cooking something of a sneer, as if you've just caught someone drinking out of the carton of milk rather than using a glass like a civilized person. And then I am going to turn my death stare down to this frog And from just even without moving my hands, without doing anything, there's suddenly the flames around me kind of build up towards my eyes, and a firebolt shoots across the yard aimed at that frog.
Yeah, these guys are not difficult to hit. Kind of just ignoring the frog that's in your face, you glance over its shoulder. Do frogs have shoulders? I don't think they do. You glance over it, and it just incinerates the one mouthing Jill. Anything else you would like to do?
I just pictured the frog going, Jill. Just like mouthing Jill. Sorry.
No, I think everything else I do requires at least one action.
Alright.
Which I've just used. So I'm just going to just draw out my quarterstaff, which also somehow remains completely untouched by the fire pouring out of me, and get ready to smack the frog in front of me should it decide not to run away.
Alright, Jill, it is your turn.
Jill is not feeling very good. She ran away from the fire, then her hair got licked by a frog, and the frog caught on fire. So she's really, really displeased, unsure what to do, not really herself, still freaked out by all the fire. Jill goes into rage and just clutching her axe runs to the closest thing that registers as a target, which is the last big frog, and just shouts unintelligibly something in Goblin, and smashes her axe into the remaining frog.
Alright, an 11. Holy shit, and damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking crush the frog just at Concord's feet, skull broken, meat out.
Do be
Nasty.
careful of his legs. We would like to have a feast, remember?
Look over at the half-orc and say, "Don't worry, I've already got this one cooked for you."
I feel like maybe the fire wasn't so good a choice. The halfling did not have a good reaction.
Can I investigate the bushes and look for, I want to say frogs lay eggs.
Yeah.
They
I'm gonna
do.
look. Thank you.
And I am going to slowly do some breathing exercises and let the fire gradually go back into my skin and under where it belongs.
I'm going to go over to the halfling and say, "Are you alright? You seem upset."
And as sort of, as Concord gets that fire action under control, Jill starts to sort of come back to herself a little and sort of just looks down at her axe and the squishy frog mush on her axe and in front of her and go, I think I'm a little better now. Listen, guys, like, I realize I should probably have told you all this since we're gonna go do the thing together, but I didn't count on this cameras, this guy over here turning into flames. I'm not super comfortable around like little flames are fine. A campfire's fine, but when it gets like big, you just don't stand in my way just for future. I'm sorry about all this
You're sorry you killed the frog. We did a really good job.
I'm still not completely out. There's just a little flickering over my skin, and I kneel down next to the halfling. These flames, they don't have any effect on anything that's not attacking me. You can test for yourself if you like. And I just hold my hand low near the ground and wait to see if she wants to test.
Thank you, Mr. Concord?
Perhaps our green friend. And I hold my hand up to the half-orc while it's still somewhat inflamed. As long as you're not showing me any aggression, there won't be any effect.
I'll touch him, but I'll say still you should maybe be careful around the halfling.
I appreciate you trying to reassure me. It's just the sight just reminds me of some things. I'm just gonna go over and cool off a bit. and Jill sort of walks over to the corner of the enclave and tries to like breathe, have it settle.
I would like to harvest some legs.
Sure. You can roll me a nature or survival to see if you just mangle them.
Do I get I'm going with nature.
Yeah, you get 3 giant frog legs.
Fabulous.
Still fully intact.
I'm going to just use a little bit of rope and just lift my pack and just wrap them around and kind of toss them over my shoulder.
Valrieth is gonna walk over to Jill and just kind of put a hand on her shoulder and say, "If you need somebody to talk to, there are priests in town." And then just walks back to help out with the frog.
That's very gracious of you.
You can tick the little inspiration box on your sheet.
Okay.
Elric just kind of pokes around the corner, and like it's literally been, I don't know, 12 seconds since he turned his back to you, and he's like, oh, well, that was very quick. Let me go into the house and get some rations for you. I'll be right back.
Fabulous.
Don't forget the bombs.
Of course.
Perhaps we should take this time over these dead frogs to introduce ourselves to each other.
It's a very romantic setting.
It is.
While we wait for our bombs, we'll bond over frogs.
I'll go first. I am Valrieth Moonbrook. I am an acolyte of Lathander, which is why I have the mark on my forehead.
Very dramatic.
I love it so much. Well, it's very pretty. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. I am Wren. I'm a half-orc. I'm sure you didn't know. I'm from the north, and this is about me. Done. And I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out my little mouse. Start playing with it.
Your little mouse?
Yes.
Oh. You're playing with your little mouse?
My little mouse. His name is Squeak. He goes, squeak, squeak. And I give him a little kiss. Would you like to see the mouse, my friend? My little halfling friend. And I will hold down my hand and let her see Squeak.
She is very, very, very cute.
Yes. I agree. She keep me company many times.
If we're introducing ourselves, I'm Jill. I apologize for earlier. I should have mentioned I don't like big fires. I'm sorry for how I'm a little bit weird sounding. I'm learning to talk again a bit.
It was a pleasure. A pleasure killing frogs with you all. My name is Brutax. Some people call me the Enforcer. I've been sailing my entire life, so I'm just getting my land legs underneath me. I appreciate your patience during this time. The end.
That was quite beautiful, Brutax. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm fully extinguished now, and I say, well, my name's Concord, and I hope you're not at all insulted by this, but I don't mean to make a pun. I've been burned in the past, and that I don't give out my trust very willingly. So perhaps I'll tell you more later. But I kneel down to the halfling and say, don't think it's silly to be afraid by. Some of us are petrified by even sillier things like water. Anything more than a puddle, and I can barely keep my senses straight. Please don't tell the others. And I give her a wink.
I sort of still getting the hang of that wink thing. I sort of wink back a little too obviously, but holds up two tiny halfling thumbs.
Hello. My name is Griffon. I am still trying to figure myself out. And
Aren't
he
we
just
all?
smiles.
I too am trying to find myself, which is why I've been hanging out in the temple. I find that priests are very useful, which is, I was not trying to be sending Jill, but I do believe that talking to a priest might help you.
I just need to get the whole, like, talking thing down first before I start going to priests to talk. Yes.
Of course.
Oh, don't worry. They usually do most of the talking. You just nod.
Okay.
Did I hear talk of priests? The little old man just like pops out of a bush, practically. He's just pushing through. He sort of he's got a basket with him, and he starts counting out 5 rations each and putting them into people's hands one at a time, and then pulls out a small jar of healing salve and just like looks over the group of you and hands it to Wren, who looks to be the most scarred of the lot of you, and pats her big green hand.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And I'll put it in my pack. And I'll hang on to it. Sorry, it was one big thingy.
It was what, sorry?
One big thingy.
It's
How much balm do I got?
It's just like a one-time 1d4 plus 4. It's not like he's not skilled at making healing potions. So if you could just
Basically
mark
a
down.
small pot of pseudocrane.
Yeah, put it on a basic.
Paper
Or
wrap.
was it? Or what's this stuff over there?
Yeah,
He's got a tube of Neospore. left.
there you go.
Half
This is
finished
alright.
covered.
I can add it to the rest of my herbalism things. And it will come in great handy. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Very good. If any time any of you are looking for any work, since my son's passed, I haven't had much help on the farm, but I've been appreciating all the work any of you have been able to do. Thank you so much.
What happened to your boys?
Well, they wandered into the woods, and unfortunately, they didn't come back. But yeah, such things happen now and then. I only hope that they found peace.
How long ago?
It's been about 3 years now.
We've been hearing tell of some manner of creature in the forest, a sentient group who have the appearance of very large hedgehogs. Do you know anything of this, as we are ourselves bound for these woods on the morrow and would rather go in prepared?
Well, there used to be hedgehog creatures who would purchase from the markets now and again, but I haven't seen them around in quite some time.
Were they very cute? Did they have the little noses? Like...
Yes, they are very cute. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I may need a drink to go with these legs. Everyone wants. Will we go to drink? If we have to travel together tomorrow, we may as well get to know each other.
Of course. Perhaps while we're there, I can make some holy water. We might need it for our journey.
Is good.
You never know when you run into a vampire.
All water is holy.
That is untrue. Patently untrue.
He cannot help it, okay? He's fine. It's perhaps he means sacred to him.
Yes.
You like the water.
Saloon blesses all.
Oh, you like the ocean. Or the moon. Or the both.
Both.
A bit of both. Okay, great. See, we're already getting to know one another.
Let's drink rum.
Yes. I need a bottle, though. I'm afraid. No, I'll have a drink, but no more than this.
Just a bottle.
No, I'll have a, what do you call, tank.
Yes,
a
I think I should also stick to beer. I tend to avoid any
I see.
spirits that might prove explosive. Obvious reasons.
Thank you. I haven't had alcohol ever, I think.
Oh, she's low.
Perhaps I might recommend a nice, deep red wine.
What is? Oh, I think I remember red wine. But I've never tried it.
The famous minstrel tune, Red Wine.
Make you feel so fine. I think we'll go. You can try a few drinks. See what you prefer. Because you're not going to know simply from one drink.
It's known as the sampler.
Is it?
Yes.
Are you buying this sampler?
I might try the sampler as well. Let's all drink until we can't feel feelings.
I think this be very bad.
Brutax, do you need someone to talk to?
Yes, I've heard there are priests in town, yeah.
On the way back to town, Concord.
There are. You can also talk to me. I can't promise that I'll listen, but sometimes it helps to just talk.
You know, at least she is honest.
Yeah, on the way back to town, Concord very quietly but very noticeably walks on as far away from Wren as possible. They go just on the opposite side of the road.
Wren notices, but she's used to being treated like crap, so she doesn't say anything.
Valrieth also keeps a pretty large space between herself and Wren and Concord.
Jill doesn't walk far away from Wren, but like she was nice to her, and even though she has her reservations, she walks next to Wren all the way back to town.
Wren is going to cautiously approach this man, Griffon. She's going to say, I heard something about you. I have a question. Can you tell me what my question is?
How would I be able to do that?
See, perhaps that answers my question. I heard something about you being able to read minds. Is this true?
I don't know
if
what
you
are
could hear
talking
me.
about.
This
I
is
don't know
good
if
to
anyone can read minds.
Oh, you know, this is reassuring. I appreciate this. I hope I'm not offending you.
He just looks really confused.
The group of you make your way back to the Butcher's Hall, and more so than how you left it, it's quite a bit busier. And people from the docks have been filtering in, and people from the shipping facilities. And the barkeep is still, or the bunny, she is still there, still working, and she greets you all with a gentle smile and starts bussing off a table big enough to fit the group of you.
Barkeep, several samplers, please.
He wants to not feel emotions anymore. I told him this is not a good idea, but he wants to try.
It sounds like you don't feel much for emotion anyway, with that voice. I'm teasing, of course.
Barkeep, do you have any mozzarella sticks?
They for your red wine.
They go great with my red wine, and I like cheese.
Well, I can bring you out some cheese, that I can do, but I'm afraid the deep fryer is down.
That's fine, I can melt the cheese with my magic fire.
I believe we're being careful of fire with this little one.
It'll be a small fire, I don't want the cheese to burn, of course.
This is a good point.
Small is good. Not realizing that she just, made a double entendre on her own height.
All right. Well, I'll bring you some cheese and a beer flight.
I imagine I already would have checked, but do they have any Silent Foot winery wine?
They do not.
Okay.
But days ago, she offered to place an order for you.
He would have said no, because that would have taken way too long.
We have a new drinker. We need to decide what she likes. So a flight of ale will not do. We need rum. We need wine. We need ale. We need mead. Bring it all.
Please bring a cup of cider.
We need cider. Good call, Concord.
And teeny cups for teeny hands.
Listen, we must cater to all size hands here, okay? Because I just want one tankard of ale, and this is all. I cannot. I need my senses.
All right. Well, I'll bring back many things.
Everything.
That will cost you. How about you just put some gold on the table, and I'll make sure that your cup is full of whatever you need, depending on what you paid for.
Okay, there's one gold piece on the table from me.
What are the prices in this place? Is it like a super swanky joint?
That would be helpful.
It is mid-range.
So like a silver piece to drink or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put down a gold as well.
I will also put down a gold piece.
Seeing that everyone else is doing this, Jill sort of just like not realizing 100%. She just sort of just takes one out as well and puts it on the table, slides it across.
I'll hold up a gold piece and say, if I give you the gold piece, might I have a little bit of cheese as well for me and for my little
Yes, no. I'll bring some breadsticks for the table. After a little bit of time, Danelle comes back with this just gigantor tray, and puts it on the table and spins it around so that the fried cheese is towards Valrieth. And she heads off to deal with other tables. But there's like so much on there.
I'm just going to take the little slice of cheese and hold it to my pocket so that Squeak can come out and nibble at it. And I'm going to little pet between his little ears with my big finger.
Valrieth takes very little sips of wine in between little bites of cheese.
How is the bouquet?
It's red.
That's very descriptive.
It's definitely a red one.
Should we? Maybe we should ask a priest what the bouquet is like. He would probably know. They need that for their service, you see. I bet he's in here all the time, tasting all the wines, like.
Jill, this is alcohol.
May I suggest taking the small sips?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I
the
scooch
ones
the one that is cider towards it. I would suggest you start with this. Just break yourself in gently.
Oh, so many things, and it's all so overwhelming.
Okay, someone who is looking after this little one while she gets shit
I
faced?
got it.
I will look after her from a
Believe it or
distance.
not, the smaller ones are stronger, so take those slower. Jill, listen to me. This is very important.
Jill listens.
Do not take the small ones all at once. Just take a sip. Probably start with the cider that the Burning Man gave you.
That sounds like a good idea, thank you. And she takes out her small hands and grabs the cider to sort of sip a little. Oh, this is sweet, but bitter, but
Catch her, don't let her fall off the table.
She seems to like the cider.
My tail wraps around behind whoever's like sitting on my side and just like props her up in the back. As she leans back, it's just like between her shoulder blades holding her up.
Oh, thank you. Concord?
Very welcome, yes.
Brutax, I have a tincture I could give you for whatever ails your throat there. I could help.
This is just how I talk.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Perhaps you could... I was going to say take that yourself, but that was out of character.
Believe it or not, I have actually. This is much better. My last job, I was a bit of a scuffle. It was, it'll be fine in a few days. I'm all right. You should see the other guy.
This has happened to me as well. What happened to the other guy?
Lots of things.
Interesting. Can he tell the tale, or did you put him in the dirt?
Oh, I don't kill people simply for joking me. A few bones were broken, but then I hand him over to the guard. You must do your duty, I try very hard to keep the peace, but when you try to choke me to death, then maybe you end up with a broken, femur or arm, or perhaps your arm faced the wrong way. But he's fine.
This is good
Quiet.
policy. I believe too. If you try to choke me to death, your arm should be broken.
Yes, I agree.
Jill sort of nods in agreement and goes, I know what you mean.
I'm not exactly proud. I try not to do these things, but I fear fair is fair.
I agree. Violence should be the last option, but when you are choked, bones need to be broken. You show great restraint in not killing that fellow. Or lady.
And Concord lifts his glass and says, "Yes, I'm sure your parents are very proud." And I just stare her right in the eyes while I take a very slow drink.
And her smile goes from 100 watts of smiling kindness to Brutax to a dead, orcish fucking glare. You want to unstick your mouth to tell me what you mean by this?
Nothing bad, You're not the only one with a family history.
You know
Let's
nothing
just
of
say
my family history.
And you know nothing of highwaymen.
I know what I hear.
As do I.
Well, we've all heard things. How about we talk about why we're here? How did we come to this town, perhaps?
Well, I'm here because my parents are murderous bastards, and I wanted nothing more to do with them.
Fair enough. I am here because, unfortunately, my family betrayed and killed by vampires, and I hate them. If you know any vampires, tell me where they are, and I'll...
Oh, well, I actually have something for that, and I open up my coat, and there's a little bottle of holy water.
Oh
and
no,
a
he's
little
going to
stake
flash!
inside.
Do not flash people!
I happen
do not
to keep
appreciate
a monster hunting kit on me at all times, so if you need
That's
any
good.
supplies, let me know. I have some spare.
That's good. Vampires are cruel, evil creatures, and while I do not call for the deaths of most people, I believe that all vampires should just be wiped from the map completely.
Well, I see we're just laying it all out on the table. Just gonna have a drink. My God.
Well, it's not a secret, my hatred of vampires.
I also hate them. If they killed your family, that seems like a terrible way to die. And I am sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I'm here because piracy no longer paid the bills. I'm going to make money, and I'm going to make the poor rich and the rich... No, that's not what I'm going to do. Everyone deserves an equal status. The wealth needs to be spread.
It's almost as if you want us all to live together in some kind of communal state.
Yes, a socialist paradise.
But if you use the word commune, would that not be it's fine. It's all good. We all have our own beliefs. It's fine. But when you say pirate, how much of this is with the stabby, steely, rapey thing? Because I cannot be around this.
Very little of the latter. There is a bit of the
Very little, which means a little, at least a little.
There are crew members that I am not responsible for who may have done some things that I find regrettable.
And
they
were
not
found their way overboard.
Correct. They were not on our crew for very long. We would rob the wealthy and distribute wealth.
Quick, my shoulder.
They deserve to be stolen from. These were slave owners. They oppressed people. We despise tyrants.
It's a good policy.
Yes.
What about you, Mr. Griffon? You're very quiet in the corner. Are you not you're not reading our minds, yes? You have said you cannot do this?
I assure you I cannot read your mind.
That's
Yes, I'm sure if he'd read mine, he probably would have run away by now.
Well, if the fire didn't do it, I'm sure that the thoughts might. What are you doing here now, Griffin? Are you here to stand and observe? Or are you doing things?
Standing and observing is what I am good at. I'm here simply to find myself.
Oh, look, there you are! Yeah, you find you! Fault.
I am rather surprised no one has asked about the ignition incident. Thank you for your candor on that matter.
seems like magical things happen all the time. I just assumed it's part of your abilities. Is there some deeper thing that you'd like to explain to us?
Family history. Let's just say for now.
Fair enough.
Jill sort of nudges her elbow against what would be Wren's shoulder as she's still standing on the bench, and goes, the Griffin man. I heard he also is good at other things. I think we can trust him.
Given how incredibly loud and already drunk she is, I can hear all of this and say, what other things are you talking about?
Well, just good things. Yeah, and she sort of reaches out for the beer and starts to drink that.
I think perhaps she has a little bit too much. Perhaps you may slow down.
Yes,
I heard that he was able to stop a fight between a clan of half-orcs without resorting to violence, which I think is an especially wonderful thing to be able to do.
The truth about rumors is, don't always believe what you hear.
Would you prefer I not believe something good about you?
It is a rumor.
Fair enough.
I've heard many rumors about myself that are not true, some that are, but what can you do? People will talk, particularly if you're 6'4" and very green.
People will also talk even if you are not 6 foot and green. Yes.
People tend to talk about me, but that's only because not often are Drow seen above.
Right.
Yes, this is actually the first time I've ever seen a Drow.
And why you worship the sun thing? Do you not have a skin? Do you not find the sun like?
I don't have a skin thing, but I do not like sun. That's true. It's very difficult to see.
But you worship the sun god.
I do.
It is because of the vampires. You're like, kill the vampires.
It is because of the vampires in part, because while I was fleeing my family's estate, Lathander visited upon me and gifted me with purpose.
This is very good.
And I found myself in the temple.
Well, like, poof, you gone? You're in temple?
No, metaphysically found myself in the temple.
Oh, right, yeah. That whole nutshell.
Yes, the acolytes took me in, and I've been helping heal. And there's shipping accidents and such about the city.
Time is it?
5:20.
I'm at in game. Thank you, though.
It's it's past, like, it's dark out, but not super late into the night.
And we're meeting at midday for the artifact retrieval?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, midday the next day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish my drink and just set it down, and that's me. I'm for the drink. The one I want.
Yeah, I'm going to finish my wine and cheese and then go to bed.
Yeah,
Nice.
whenever Wren gets up to leave, I will like intercept her halfway across the room. I will say, I'm sorry for the impertinent comment earlier. Believe me, if anyone knows that the child is not their parents, it's me. But once again, I apologize. You are
Apology
obviously...
accepted.
Thank you.
I don't know about your history, but if what I heard is true, I would not be unfavorable toward it.
As well,
If
what happened was not intentional, but neither was it entirely regrettable in that instance.
I understand this. We call what is the word? Truce.
I would like that very much.
Fantastic.
Here, I have a little piece of cheese from the table, and I hold it towards her pocket.
Okay, thank you for this. I wouldn't reach in there though, because he will bite you. Reflex, but he very when he gets used, he'll be nice. Maybe, probably.
Very good. By the way, if things get a bit violent on our quest, I have a small chest here for my supplies. It's not particularly big, but it's more than roomy enough to keep your little friend safe.
This is very kind of you. Thank you. Appreciate it. See, we're making friends all the time. Great.
Well, good night then.
All right.
And I nod to the table. Good night to all of you.
Okay, good night. Good night.
Okay,
I
so
turn to the bar.
No.
The barmaid. No more for the halfling.
somebody please help her to her bed.
One more sampler.
I'll go.
The
Now, Brutax,
Goliath
it's not
takes
good.
all responsibility for the halfling.
I'll pay for any destruction that happens.
Well,
That is a barbarian halfling.
you're going to
you
be the one
remember?
holding
So
her hair.
I quietly walk over and I move all blunt and heavy objects away from the drunken barbarian halfling.
The drunken barbarian halfling clutches her great axe so much that when you try to move it, she just moves with it.
I will leave you your friend. I take off my coat and I wrap it around the axe head and tie a knot just to be safe. And I give her another wink. I give them another wink.
I'm still very
Smart.
curious about Griffon. He has not said very much. What's his name?
Yes, and he stayed surprisingly sober. Still, I'm sure he'll get more talkative in the days ahead.
Griffon, do you want another drink? I get you a drink. You tell me something about you, and I'll get you a drink. We could be friends.
I think we would be great friends.
Oh, it's good. Yeah. Do you want something?
No, thank you.
Right. Okay, good, because I don't have much gold, but I would for you.
Party that drinks together stays together. These are rules. I didn't write them. I only follow them. Please partake of the sampler.
Unfortunately, they do not have the wine here that I really enjoy.
What is this wine that you really enjoy?
It is from a winery that is... Actually, do I know how far away it is, Ash? I don't know if I ever... I put in like a blank for my hometown, but...
Right. Just 1 second here. I meant to give you something, but I don't think I did. No, I didn't.
It is a winery that is... DM insert distance here, far away from here.
North.
Well, that
Far
seems either
north.
likely or unlikely to obtain at this point, depending on Ash's determination.
It's like almost 1,000 miles away from where you are.
Oh my. Little Takai in there.
You must be very well traveled to have such expensive tastes.
He smiled and said, yeah, something like that.
This is the only drink he will consume.
It is my favorite wine.
Before I finally go to bed, I do want to the bar and get however much, I don't know how much it will cost, but if my gold will cover it that I already gave her, but can I get a couple of meals that I can take with me outside?
Yeah, she can pack up a few meals for like 5 silver.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna take the food and just take it outside. I'll wave to everybody and say it. I'll see you all in the morning. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give the few homeless people that I know are around the area the food.
Sounds good. The tavern that you're in is kind of midway between the shipping area and the slums, so it's not a very far walk.
No, I'd say I'd probably at this point I probably know a few of them pretty well, so I'm just gonna sit and feed them and have a quick chat with them and make sure they're doing okay. And I'm gonna go back to the inn and go to bed.
All right. One of them actually tells you that there's a woman who had inherited people think that she inherited some of the farmland, and they've seen them walking around the slums fairly often over the past few days, and it's just a little strange to them, and that's...
Has she said anything to you that is strange, or are you just noticing that she's there?
I'm just noticing. She is a little out of place.
She's been frequenting the slums.
She has been walking through them.
All right. If you notice anything very strange, do tell me. But keep yourself safe. You know, above all, that is the first thing you should do. I appreciate you saying to me this thing. Have a good night. You stay warm. It's breezy.
Thank you for the food.
Very well, my friend. I'm going to do the thing. Go to bed. Do the big snore. I'm gonna be
Do the big snore. Love it.
early in the morning before everybody gets up. I want to use my herbalism kit to just whip up a little remedy for the hangover that I'm sure Jill's gonna have.
Just roll me a con save and see how bad the hangover is.
She means you, not me. Jill.
Considering the amount you drank and the size of your body, it's surprising that you're not worse. So you are a little nauseous.
Hand it to her in the morning and say, if you drink this, you feel better. I promise. By noon, you feel better. Bit of beets, a little bit of hair of dog. The one that bit you, it is saying it means the bit of the alcohol. And then some other little herbs. You'll be fine.